Hello everyone, happy Sunday. Welcome back. It is Saturday here though. I'm doing this the day before because I have to have it released by midnight. So what's happening? What be happening to Bigfoot? Is he missing? Nobody can find him? Has anybody found him? Oh, God. Agent Bigfoot Krasnov? Oh. What's going on? What's happening to him? August 31st, 2025. There. Well, he's at least feeling pretty darn beat up. Well, this is a card of usually resilience and endurance when it comes through upright. But I don't know. Maybe he's gone somewhere where he's needing some courage and a test of faith. At the least, this is... well, you know what? I mean, it's like it's the 9 of Wands right before the 10 of Wands where you're done, or almost up that hill. This one's like right there, almost done, but beat up and worn out. So, ooh, I've got glitter there. I wonder where that came from. To have a little stripper elf come in the middle of the night and play around on my table. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, distractions there. Squirrel. 8 of Cups for the entire day. So this is the forces in motion all day long, overwhelmed, exhausted, or almost overwhelmed, totally fatigued. But with the 8 of Cups reversed, again, you know, this is another card for exhaustion. It's another card that has to do with being stuck and afraid to move on because he probably knows, you know, croaking time is, you know, ribbit. I can't do frogs. Croaking time is coming. Let's see what else. So this is like, you know, internally what's happening to him. He can't move on, and actually his administration isn't able to move on very well. He's getting called out everywhere. Well, they're all getting called out. Oh God, there are so many things I want to read on. I mean the whole. Well, hold on. This is the one thing that I pulled offline that really got to me was. June 2025, the Supreme Court, in a 6-3 vote, lifted a lower court injunction that allowed Doge to access Social Security records. And then we have whistleblower complaints. There's a whole bunch. If you just go online and you know, do a search on what about the 300 million Americans' data data that was accessed. But here we go. So this just happened. This chief data's officer complaint in August. SSA, so Social Security Administration Chief Data Officer Charles Borges filed a whistleblower complaint alleging that Doge officials copied the private information of more than 300 million Americans to an insecure cloud environment. So do you remember those two guys? Yeah, there are 2 of them from the National Labor Relations Board that saw 10 terabytes of data that went straight to Russia, went to an ISP in Russia, or URL in Russia. Great, right? So the data copied included Social Security numbers, names, dates of birth, and parents' names from the master Numida database. So imagine, you know, you have a Social Security card on your child, because a lot of parents do that. So I guess I don't need to do a whole reading on it. It's just that, you know, looking back on this, I guess I'll have to put a note in the title. But what I want to say here about this, make sure your credit is frozen. And I'm wondering if at some point down the line, if we will have a class action lawsuit against the government for Trump allowing this to happen. Because they received improper access to other sensitive Social Security Administration data and circumvented a court-ordered access restriction in March. The whistleblower complaint was submitted to the Office of Special Counsel and Congressional Oversight Committees, where it is expected to prompt further investigation. Okay, so we shall see. But I think there should be a class action lawsuit against SCROTUS, and especially John Roberts should be impeached. Now, somebody said there was an impeachment coming down for him. I looked online, couldn't find any of that. And I asked for the source of that, and I never heard back. So if you guys know, please let me know. Anyway, he's not getting away with what he can't move on. He's not getting away with the things that he wants to do, and he's having a really hard time holding on. And then Four of Swords. This is a card of not being upright. This is a card of your brain's not working, overstressed, maybe healing from a battle, but the battle might be surgery, right? This is a person who needs rest, who's overwhelmed mentally, because the swords are about the mental state. Yeah. Burned out, restless, refusing to rest. But then again, too, when you have surgery, you have to lay down and rest whether you like it or not, and I think that's what's happened. All my health readings the days before looked to be that. So, yeah. Now, if you guys are doing personal readings for yourself, this is also a card of meditation, but he doesn't meditate. Okay, the moon reversed. Holy moly. The moon reversed brings through insanity. Or if you're doing personal readings and you've had a lot of, anxiety and this comes through, then you're free of it. But not him. For him, I read it as confused and paranoid. Because that's the thing. With this card reversed, it's kind of an iffy. You have to really go with your own feelings. Or if you're working with someone, you have to ask them a lot about how they've been feeling, what were their dreams, what dreams have been coming through, information that way. But with him, we know he's paranoid. We know he's insane. We know he's got to be deeply depressed. And, that this is a card for the Dark Night of the Soul. So those two cards together, right? So if he's had surgery, he's trying to heal, but he's going through something, right? He needs mental surgery. Somebody who put lobotomy? Somebody, oh my God, I was cracking up yesterday. Somebody said the Ron Kennedy got the lobotomy for RFK Jr. Okay, death reversed and the Hermit. So death reversed means stuck, not unable to, transition. When it's upright, it doesn't mean death, but when it's next to, if this card had come through upright and with the Hermit, I would be having a very different. I'd be having something else to say about it. But because it's reversed, I have to go with the strict rules that he's just not, he's stuck in such in a control issue inside. Now when it comes to health, this could definitely be issues with anything below the belt. But to me, this feels like he can't move on. He's got the worst control issues and power issues. But this card is, especially when it comes to reverse, it's a person that's in survival. Because when it's upright and alone with other, cards that might be good cards, you go, okay, big change is coming, or I need to initiate a big change. It's like if you're in control of your life. I'm one of those weirdos. When I lived in California, I moved 25 times, and then moved to Oregon. I still moved twice, so I've moved 27 times in my adult lifetime. And the last several times, I would be asking, okay, I think I should. I feel like I need to move. Should I move? And I get this card, and it's like, yeah. It's a big transition. It's a physical transition you have to make. You've got to let the old go and move on. But he's not letting anything go. And this is the card that I got when he had all those midges attack him, because he's such a stinky monster, when he was golfing at his resort in Scotland. So what's coming at him today, happening to him today, he's going insane. He's trying to rest, but I don't think he really can. Not with this card, not with the Nine of Wands coming out. He can't even rest his mind enough to get any, if he wants sleep, they're probably knocking him out with drugs. And then to have these two cards come through tells me that he's just really going through a deep survival, period. Now, also, this card reversed can be all about diverticulitis because it rules the colon. So maybe he's had to have had surgery about that issue, something with his colon. Maybe he has colon cancer or prostate cancer. That would all line up with this card reversed. Now, but just this major, resistance to change is the key thing that's happening with him. And this, I'm thinking, could even be people who are watching him that are like, oh no, what do we do? And they're resistant to change, and they've kind of got a light on, wondering like, oh boy, what are we going to do? Right? Because these are things happening to him. But as within, so without. So if he's controlling and in survival issues, then of course that's what's going to, that's what he will attract. There's nothing, we have no cards here about, being in faith. Unless, he were a person who meditates and were kind and loving. Not him. He's insane. He tries to rest and he just goes insane. So, with the Hermit card, he's alone, right? He's just alone. I don't think he's soul searching because I don't think he does anything like that. I feel like he's just alone. He might be lonely. He might just be withdrawing. That's one of the ways to manipulate in relationship is just going to withdrawal. And because he's feeling beat up. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. Whistleblowers be going crazy. So with the Page of Swords, when it comes to reversed, this is what's happening to him is we are all talking about him. We are gossiping. People around him are lying to him. People around him are all talk and no action. Yeah, sure. His sycophants will say whatever, and then, but they won't do it, right? They won't do it. So, yeah. Also, if he is up, and this is a non-ambulatory card, but if he is up and he's out, this would have to do with a fall, problems with the lower legs. So, okay. One more here. So with the Five of Cups reversed, not good. That is not good at all. Oh, man. So he might be coming out of some denial. He might. He might actually be trying to move on. Now, it also could be other people his sycophants moving on and accepting that the dude is knucking futs and we're all getting beat up with him. They are. They're all getting beat up with him. And, you know, RFK Jr. isn't helping things much. God. Oh, that's not even funny. I shouldn't even laugh about that. Okay, so falls, accidents, other people, maybe an accident happens or something to someone else, and then they're accepting that, well, you know, this guy's not going to do anything to help anybody. So, okay, let's keep going. I've got the Three of Swords reversed and the Four of Pentacles. So, Three of Swords reversed brings through, again, it could be heart surgery, illness, but this is a card of seclusion when it comes through reversed. It's interesting. It's much worse when it's upright, but we have seclusion here, isolation here and here and here. It doesn't have to be isolated here. For sure, with the Eight of Cups reversed, isolated here, here, and here. So I think he's still hiding and he's holding on. Four of Pentacles upright is just his greed. He's trying to hold on to what he has. He might be trying to get together a bunch of money to give to Melania for purposes of bribery. Yeah, let's see what's at the bottom. Seven of Cups reversed. He's out of options, and so are the people, so are his sycophants. And they better get to work doing something else because when he goes, it's not going to go well. Nobody likes J.D. Vance. Nobody believes that he can lead. He's like all talk and no action. Now he's a Leo, so it doesn't go with the astrological connotation or alignment with that card, but it's like that. Young person that's just all talk and no action. Yeah, I'll do it. I can do it. I don't. No, you can't. So Seven of Cups, besides being, when it comes to reverse, besides being somebody who's out of options, this is also a card of, the way life is when reality sets in and the subterfuge clears. It's also a card for keeping secrets. Yeah. So at the foundation of the whole day, the people that work for him is the way I'm getting this, are keeping secrets. Now also on the level of health, this is my diverticulitis card if it would have come through reverse. So, but yeah. I'm doing this reading first. I need to do the health reading next, actually. So, but this doesn't look good. And that Four of Swords keeps coming through. So, out of options, keeping secrets, holding things close to the vest here, maybe coming out of some denial here, maybe even a little bit of coming out of denial here as well. So I would say overall what's happening to him internally is that he knows he's very ill and he's not going to make it. But how he's going to handle things in the future, well, we'll just have to see day by day. Insane. That's how he's going to handle it. Insane in the membrane. Okay. Let me look real quick for you guys who love the Visions of Life. So, let's see. And if you're looking for this deck, it's not available on Amazon. They've never sold through Amazon. If Amazon acts like they used to have it, they're lying. There's where you go, tarokostudio.com with a dash in the middle. But this is, see the date 2018, that's how long I've had it. Actually, no, I think I bought it in 2020. I don't know if they have this edition anymore. It's the first edition, but they are selling the second edition, which I ordered, and it's on its way. Coming from Russia, 50 some bucks is shipping. But you know what? Check this out. Look how thick this deck is and how big the cards are, and look what you can do with it. The cards they're totally worth the money based on the card stock and the flexibility, and they're not hard on your hands, even though they're so big. Okay, dude, what's happening to you today? August 31st, Sunday, August 31st. What's going on right there? Yeah, he's trying to make decisions. He's losing his head because all he thinks about is money, right? Yeah. We have the Eight of Cups again, reversed. In this deck, it's, they're calling it indifference, and we've gotten it before. Did we get it yesterday or the day before? Where, look at that one guy's eyeballs. He's looking at him, looking at the other guy. The other guy's like just looking for the money, and he's like, oh, I don't know if I should trust this doctor. Look at all those degrees on the wall, but I don't like him because he doesn't care about me. This is Trump. His biggest challenge in this deck, if I were to read it according to the artwork, is that he doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care about anybody. And if he doesn't care about anybody else, he also doesn't really care for himself. When reversed, this card does have to do with addictions and the lymphatic system not flowing, but I feel like it's more of the fear of moving on, and he's just stuck, avoiding, because he's apathetic, and that's what creates the indifference. It's a part. Apathy is a part of evil, because you have to be apathetic to be cruel. Right? Okay, so 3 of Wands. What else is, let's just do this. Maybe we'll get a little story going here. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So what's happening to him, I think, other people, oh my goodness, how could I not? So sorry. Baldur, come on, sorry. I'm so sorry. He's been watching going, could you get, Mom, make her get the chopstick. Oh, sorry. So, for the kitties and the puppies out there that love to watch the cards, I'm thinking what's happening to him is that more and more people are making a decision to know that he doesn't care about them at all, and of course his whole administration knows that, and they're just like him, and it's all about the conflict of interest with money. So they're looking out towards something else. And maybe they're remembering the times in the past when where he was caught eating paper. He was caught stuffing something in his mouth and hiding it. It was a note probably that somebody slipped him that was important, and maybe the only way he could get rid of it was to, but he ate it. He did. And he's flushed pieces of paper. Remember his first administration? They caught him tearing up orders and tearing up all kinds of things and just throwing in the trash. And then later on he was caught flushing things down the toilet, papers down the toilet. And we know that big-ass binder, remember the big binder that Mark Meadows had? That looked to be like it went into the fireplace. So things like that. They're just covering up everything that they've done. This time he has so many sycophants around him, he's getting away with too much. So there's that big conflict of interest, and for him it's all about the money, and for the people that are serving him it's all about the money. That's the only thing they're seeing, and they're trying to hang in there and be as strong and go as fast as they can because they're joined at the hip. What's happening to him is that his relationships they're joined at the hip, but only by money, and then they are at some point going to have to go in different directions because their interests are going to go down the toilet too. And then they're not sleeping well. This should be the Nine of Swords, but it's the Queen of Swords in this deck. She's probably thinking, what do? I have to get a divorce, right? And how do I do it, right? What's a smart way to do it? So I'm going to look at this as his own people in his own, his constituents and his sycophants and his admin are, what they're doing is looking for ways to get away from him, and they're regretting. Some of them are starting to regret already. How are they going to go the full course? And the other thing, they're probably in the back of their minds, because they're not all that stupid. Some of them are, like Hegseth, and there are a couple of them are just dumber than a bag of hammers. But the deal is, they have to start thinking at some point that they don't have immunity. He does, and he doesn't care about them. They know that just at a heartbeat, he will throw them, they will be thrown under the bus. We need a bus card in this deck. One of these decks, we need a bus card. So yeah, more with just, it's all about the money, and oh my God, where's my hair? And yeah, he's not sleeping either. At the bottom of the deck, who's really in control? We've got authority, and then their people are just hoping, wishing on a star, hoping I don't drown, hoping I don't sink. Who's the real authority? Yeah, and no, it's not. There's nothing that has to do with maturity. It's all about the money. So this is my closing card for him. Okay, thanks you guys. Bye.